I want us to begin with a moment of reflection. Think back. Can you remember a time when you ignored the signals from your body? Maybe your head hurt, but you pushed through anyway. Maybe your stomach turned, but you smiled and you said, "I'm okay." Maybe your back was screaming, but you remained silent. We've all been there, ignoring the signals, powering through. But imagine this. You trip, and your brain ignores the signal from your foot that you're falling. There's no coordinated response. You fall hard, unprotected, injured. That's what happens when you lead from the neck up. No emotional intelligence guiding us. No awareness to catch us. Just reaction. Just disconnection. And that's the pattern so many of us are in right now. Most leadership happens from the neck up. Strategies, dashboards, policies. But here's the truth we don't always say. We are leading from bodies that are exhausted, disconnected, overwhelmed. And I've heard it in whispers. A brilliant executive once told me, "Some days I wish I had an accident just so I would have an excuse not to come in." That's not just stress. That's a body saying, "I can't carry this anymore." And it's deeper. It's trauma. 7 out of 10 of us in this room have lived through trauma. This is global. Trauma is not just what happens to you, it's what gets stuck inside when you don't have enough support. And when you ignore your bodies, others pay the price. Stress spreads, trust erodes, performance decreases. But here's the key. We don't just lead from strategy. We lead with the nervous system. Think about it this way. Your head is like your GPS. Clear, rational, strategic. But your body is the engine. Powerful, responsive, alive. You need both to move forward. And I say this, leadership doesn't just live in the head. Leadership lives in the body. Before I go further, let's try something together. Feel your feet on the floor. Now let your shoulders drop. Notice what your body is saying right now. Because your body often knows stress or safety even before your brain can explain it. That's not imagination. That's biology. Think of a time when your stomach knotted before a meeting or your jaws clenched before a hard conversation. That was your body speaking. But most of us, we've been trained to override it, to ignore it, to push through, to keep performing. The costs are real. 6 out of 10 nonprofit leaders report burnout, and 3 in 5 frontline staff say they are already burnt out. This isn't just about individuals. This is about systems. Systems led by bodies that are dysregulated, disconnected, and depleted. In the meantime, AI is getting faster every day, but real human presence, the ability to settle a room, to build trust in real time, that's what's disappearing. We've built systems that are efficient but not human, productive but fragile. And here's the results. Efficient, disconnected leaders. And disconnected leaders create fragile systems. Because real leadership isn't about control. It's about connection. And connection begins in the body. That's why you lead from your body, not just your head. But imagine something different. A leader walks in the room, and they don't just bring an agenda. They bring presence, attunement, awareness. And suddenly the room softens. People exhale, trust rises. That's not a soft skill. That's a survival skill. And cultures around the world have always known this. Maori leaders, they begin with presence. Ubuntu teaches, I am because we are. Indigenous circles starts with the body first. And in Japan, Hara says that wisdom lives in the belly. Across times, across traditions, one truth echoes. Leadership lives in the body. I didn't learn this in a book. I lived it. Post-COVID, 20 silent boxes on Zoom. The tension was heavy. I had my talking points, strategy, encouragement, but my chest was tight. My breath was shallow, and my throat was closing. I kept talking anyway. And the more I talked, the more disconnected we all became. Until I stopped. I took one slow breath and said, I feel the weight, the fatigue, the uncertainty. And in that pause, something shifted. Someone exhaled, the chat lit up, heads lifted, the whole room changed. That day, I stopped performing. We started connecting, and I realized that if I didn't feel safe in my own body, no one would feel safe either. That was the day I stopped talking about trauma-informed leadership. I started embodying it. Here's an example. A team leader walks into a meeting, shoulders tight, eye scanning, arms crossed, guarded, ready to defend. In the past, I might have corrected her behavior, but that day, I chose stillness. I grounded myself. I breathed. I checked in. I attuned to what her body was already telling me. And slowly she shifted. Her shoulders softened. Her voice cracked as she whispered, "This is the first time I felt safe enough to say how I really feel in a meeting." She admits her struggles to trust. She confessed the pressure she carries to be perfect. She asked, finally, for support. And here's what's important. I didn't change the strategy. I didn't rewrite the policy. I didn't fix her. I changed the way I showed up. That right there is the power of embodied leadership. So, how do we begin? Let's try right here, right now. Take a slow breath in. Hold it. Exhale. Notice your jaw, your shoulder, your chest. Where is there tension? Where is there softness? Just one shift, your nervous system settles. This isn't mindfulness on the side. This is regulation in real time. One pause, one breath, one choice. No technology can do that. That's human presence. And science says even a minute reduces stress and sharpens clarity. So before we react, we connect, we respond. Here's our choice. We can continue to lead fragmented, heads racing, bodies numb, or we can lead embodied, grounded, relational, human. Because when we lead from our bodies, we don't just get through the work. We connect, we repair, we heal. Imagine boardrooms, classrooms, hospitals, governments, not beginning in frenzy, but in presence. Imagine decisions being made by leaders whose nervous systems are steady. Policies formed by bodies that are grounded. Relationships led by leaders who are whole. The future of leadership doesn't live above the neck. The future of leadership lives in the body. So let's lead from our bodies. Let's lead from presence. Let's lead from connection and watch what becomes possible. Thank you.